calves today. And all I'm doing right now is just very slowly just going over those muscles and just feeling what feels tight, and as typically the right side for me is very tight. Sorry, the left side. So I'm going to start with that left side and pop the middle of it. So here I am being very brave and popping just that left set of calves on the roller, lifting my hips up off the ground. Don't have to, you can always use the other leg out to the side. It's just that you don't get quite as much pressure, but maybe you don't want that pressure as well. It can be quite intense. And then we can swap over to the other side, because these are quite small muscles that we're starting with, so we don't have to spend a huge amount of time there. You're basically looking for about 30 seconds for each muscle. I'm just going to hold it there. I'm going to be brave. I'm going to do the 30 seconds just holding it there with the hips up. Oof, that's quite enough calves for me today. Take a bit of weight off the wrists and do the fronts of the thighs. So let's do the thighs. Bring that roller just above the knee. And you're on your elbows, moving backwards and forwards. And you can come quite high up with this, because those thigh muscles come all the way up. They, some of them go around and connect quite high up. It depends on how comfortable that is for you. And this just helps so much with recovery. Now, spending that amount of time on both legs, that's probably about as deep as you're going to get with the muscles. So we then need to come off of it, place that foam roller in the middle of one leg and the other leg out to the side, so it's out of the way. And again, as with the calf muscles, we can go side to side, because the muscles are all the way around the leg. And if you find an interesting bit, then stay there. Whereas I'm on, let me turn this around so you can see, I'm on this leg and the other leg is out to the side. To have the foam roller straight across your thigh, and that's the leg that's straight, and then the other one is out to the side just to get out of the way. So you can play with these angles. You've done the left leg, I'm going to do the right leg now. And I think this was probably the right time for me to start with it as well, because I know I've had people before, before my surgery, who came in to the class who said, I've got issues with my hips and I've had a hip replacement and stuff. I'm still very gentle on this side, because I don't want to, push anything out of alignment, benefiting from it. But if you do have injuries or anything, if you've had anything major done, it's always worth waiting longer rather than diving in with it. I did use the foam roller after the surgery, but it was just to roll my feet. It was just to keep my feet going. And that's another thing you can do. If you're sitting down, you can have your foam roller underneath your feet and you can just roll your feet. You don't have to put a huge amount of pressure on them, it's just keeping them moving. So we're doing those hamstrings now. So again, this is now not enough. Now I want to go one leg at a time, but it's good to start off slow with both legs. It's almost like you're warming the muscles up. And again, the other leg can either be out to the side, or if you want that added pressure, you can cross over. You can go all the way up to the crease of where the gluteus maximus starts, so the bum crease. So I don't know whether you can see, I'm going zigzagging up and down here, which feels really nice. It feels like the right thing to do. Avoid the joints, avoid the bones, put your body into a position that's safe, and then put pressure on the muscle that you want to roll. And there's lots of different ways you can roll. You can do the zigzag up and down, which feels really good on that one today. You can just hold it in a particular spot. And then by the time we get to the glutes, most people are very happy. Okay, let's swap over to the other side. Other side might feel completely different and might need something different as well. So just start by going up and down and having a feel. So in massage, we call this effleurage. That sort of initial touch, which is very gentle, and it's where you sort of spread the oil. So it's just a bit of a check in, see how the body feels, and see if there's any knots or any bits that hurt or are quite tender. Well, that feels good. So the gluteus maximus, that's the bum cheeks. And we're going to sit on the foam roller to start off with. And can you feel the bony bit of your bum? You feel, yeah. So we roll from there upwards, and we can do one glute at a time. So I'm going to do the left one. So I'll turn to the side so you can see what I'm doing. Bring that glute into the middle of the roller, anchoring it on that bone so you know where to start. Crossing the leg over. So the direction that you're leaning, so you're leaning over towards your left, so cross your left leg over. And actually, this is where you realize that your glutes are a lot higher than you think. They go up quite far. But you do need to play with that lean, play with that angle, because it's quite a wide muscle as well as a long muscle. Yes. Good. Oh. Oh, that's nice. My body's saying go gentle today, but it's still enjoying the pressure. Oh, lovely. Let's go to the other side. So again, if you struggle to cross that leg over, so I'm now on the right side. I've got the right glute in the center of the foam roller. I can't get this leg over. This is the one I've just had done. So I'm just going to lean. Just going to lean to that side and then lean there, so you can use the right hand to lean. Yes, you can feel it. Yeah, me too. Oh, that feels good. Particularly good for me here because this is really close to where the scar is, and the scar tissue is still quite tight. Yeah. This is quite nice for breaking that down, I think. Oh, I found an interesting spot, and I'm just kind of going backwards and forwards on it, one particular bit. That's good. Okay. Let's do the gluteus medius. Now remember, the gluteus medius is that little one. So if we find the hip bone and go slightly to the back, it's this kind of sticky outy bit up here. So whereas the gluteus maximus is here, it's the gluteus medius here that we're looking for. So we need that foam roller to be slightly on a diagonal, and then we angle our body diagonally sort of to the ceiling, and I've got that lower leg down on the ground, and I'm just leaning on my elbow. I always just put my hand on my head because it just seems like a logical place to put it. You don't have to put it there. And this muscle is quite small, so half of it is hidden underneath the gluteus maximus. So we've probably got some of it on the previous roll. You don't really need to move that far. Just to hold it there and just let your body relax to put that pressure on. And we use a lot of these muscles, this particular muscle, while we're walking. It helps to stabilize. It can often be a lot tighter than we realize. That's about enough. We can move over to the other side. Again, not 100% sure how I feel about rolling this side, so I'm going to grab, I've got a few other delicate, you don't have to use the big old roller, but you still want to give yourself a bit of relief. And again, it's just finding that muscle, putting whatever it is that you're rolling it with underneath. Let's do the back, so the upper back. Pop the foam roller under the shoulder blades. Now, if you're not sure where the shoulder blades are, pop the foam roller in the middle of your back and bring your elbows up, and that will make them quite prominent. You'll be able to feel where the bottom of the foam roller of the shoulder blades are. And my right shoulder just clicked in a very satisfying manner. That's it, putting the weight on. Careful not to overstretch your neck though, so make sure your neck is supported. You can put your head there, your hands there. But of course, having your hands up does change the position of those upper back muscles. So if you do want to maybe get some of them to stick out a bit more, you can bring your elbows together. So keep your hands on your head, but bring the elbows together. See how that kind of changes the position of the shoulder blade? Yeah, so you can get into those muscles in the middle a little bit more. It kind of wings the shoulder blades out a little bit. Oh, left side is very happy. And you can just put pressure on one side if you want to. Pressure on the other side. Oh. Oh. So when it comes to the upper back, I've got one more to show you on the upper back. And this one is quite prominent on me because of the pull-ups I do, but it's this muscle here. So again, you need to get in quite sort of at an angle. Lie on your side, your arm is up, so your chest again at an angle, and if you reach your hand away with your thumb up, you'll feel it even more. Now this is actually only one small part of a very big muscle down the back of the body, so what my suggestion is, just hold it there for the 30 seconds. Putting your hands above your head a lot easier. It'll just bring any tension that you have out of that underarm area. Good. That's about as much as we should put on. We shouldn't really put more than about 30 seconds. And then let's do the other one. These are those lovely lats, lovely upper back, really big muscles. Oh, yes. This side. Oh, does it feel as good on that side? Oh, that feels good. And then once you've done each side, you can go back to rolling that upper back only, because of course there's so many different ways you can move your body around to get into. There's lots of different muscles up there as well. So remember, we don't go below the rib cage because that's the lumbar spine. And all I'm going to do now is just roll up and down. It's just like a final check-in, just making sure I'm holding on to my hair. Sometimes I get satisfying clicks in the upper back as well. Oh, that's nice.